Day 2 notes. Okay, number 1 says, what is the volume of the box? And right here, I give you the volume formula. Volume equals, what do you think L stands for? Length. What about W? Width and height. Okay, so it tells you, what are you doing with L, W, and H? Multiplying them. Okay, so we are multiplying these. So, number 1, what is the volume? Well, to get the volume, it wants us to multiply the length, which is 9, by the width, which is 5, and the height, 7.5. And it doesn't matter where you put the numbers when you're multiplying. Order doesn't matter when you're multiplying. Okay, so 9 times 5 times 7.5. Dylan, what are you getting for the answer? Y'all should be doing it with me. Let's go. 337.5. Okay, so that is the volume. Okay, not for this one. Okay, number 2, find the volume of a cube. Does anybody know what a cube is? Like what makes it a cube? They're all the same. So they only give you a 3 here, but what do you know this one is? A 3. And what do you know the height is? A 3. For a cube, they're all the same. So to find the volume, I'm doing length times width times height. So I'm doing volume equals 3 times 3 times 3. Very good. 3 cubed. And that's where that comes from, okay? The reason you call that little number a cube is because when you do a cube, it's the same thing as to the 3rd power. Okay, that's where it gets its name from. Okay, any questions on 1 or 2? All right, number 3, find the area of a triangle. I did not give you this formula because you have to have it memorized. Okay, Ethan H., what is the area of a triangle? Good. 1/2 base times height. That's on your formula sheets that everybody has and can use. Area equals 1/2 base times height. Okay. Daniel, which one of these numbers is the base? I think it's a 24. So the base is the bottom. The base is the bottom. So 24 is your base. Guys, what am I doing with these two things? Multiplying. So I'll just use parentheses for multiplication. So 24, and my height is 9. Okay. All right. Haley, what are you getting for the answer? 108. Okay. Any questions about that one? Okay, number 4, find the area of a circle. They give you the formula right here. A equals pi r squared. What does the r stand for? Please write that on your paper. R equals radius. R equals radius. I also want you to draw on the side of your paper a circle. And I want you to draw a line that goes from the middle to the end, and that's going to be the radius. So the radius only goes half of the circle, okay? The radius is only half of the circle. You have to memorize that, okay? So right here, is 38 the radius? No, because 38 is going all the way across. The radius, which is what we need, we have to find the radius. The radius is only half of that. How can I find half of 38? Divided by 2. Okay, so 38 divided by 2 is what? So my radius is 19. My radius is 19. So when I do my formula, A equals pi, and then I'm multiplying 19 to the 2nd power. Okay, in your calculators, y'all, let me show you where the pi button is. Have we used the pi button yet in this class? I didn't think so. Yep, so to type in pi, I don't want you to do 3.14 like you did in middle school. I want you to actually use the pi key. So you hit second, and then the caret key, and the pi symbol will come up on your calculator. Everybody should be doing this with me. Parentheses 19 parentheses squared. Okay. A lot of times students type in 3.14. I want you to use the pi key. Okay. Press enter. And let's go 2 decimal places. So that would be 1134.11. 1134.11. Okay. So the biggest thing to remember is that the radius is half of a circle. The radius is only half. Okay. All right. Number 5, find the circumference of the circle. Jesse, what's the formula they give you for that one? Very good. And Zaria, what does R stand for? What did we write down that R stood for? The radius, okay? Gracie, is 29 the radius, or are we going to have to divide it by 2? So here, it's just half of it. So it already is the radius. So that is the radius right there. It's already half of it because they only drew the line through half. So C equals 2 pi, and in the R spot, I'm putting in 29. Okay, so when they only draw the line halfway across, that's already the radius for you. Okay, Chad, what are you getting for the answer? Do you all agree with that? Okay, good. All right, number 6, find the volume of the cone. So they give you the formula right here. V equals 1/3 pi r squared h. All right, so I'm going to drop down the 1/3. I'm going to drop down the pi. Andrew, what does R stand for? So look, Andrew, they have a line all the way across here, and they have a 12. Is 12 the radius, or do I have to divide it by 2? I have to divide it by 2 because the line's going all the way across. Guys, what's 12 divided by 2? So the radius is just 6. So I'm going to put that in the R spot. 6. And the 2, the square, goes with the 6. All right, there's one other number I have to do. Chuck, what do you think H stands for? What do you think the height of this cone is? Very good. The height goes straight up and down. So that is 14. Okay. All right, so let's type this one in our calculator. And what are we getting? Anybody? So that rounds up to 528, which is C. Okay, rounds up to 528, which is C. Okay. All right, number 7, Dylan. Tell me what R stands for. And Dylan, is 8 right here the radius, or do we have to divide it by 2? What? It's just 8 because the line is already halfway across. So that is the radius. So it goes in for R. Okay. And Andrew, what's going to go in for H? Good. Okay. All right, Gracie, what you got? 87? That what y'all are getting? What are y'all getting? Okay, so 87 point, say it again. 0.2 what, Gracie? 87.26. What, Ethan? What are you getting? All right, 871.26. Okay. All right, number 8. The circumference of a circle is approximately 18.84 centimeters. What is the approximate diameter of the circle? Okay, let's take this one step by step. What's the formula they're giving you? What formula are they giving you? C equals 2 pi r. Guys, I need you to take good notes on this one. So I need you to write down what I write down on this one. It's important to take good notes on this problem. C equals 2 pi r. So that's the formula. Okay? The first number that I see is 18.84. What do they tell you that 18.84 is? What do they say that 18 is? The circumference. 18.84 is their circumference. Which one of these letters do you think is circumference? C. So I have to put in 18.84 for C. Okay? All right, let me drop down the 2 and let me drop down the pi. All right. Do I know what R is? What's R stand for? Radius. Do they give me what the radius is in the problem? No. So I'm just going to put a R. Okay? All right. Draw your line and circle R. We're going to try to figure out what R is. So this one we're going to have to work backwards. We're going to have to work it backwards. Okay? What is with R right now? What else? 2 and pi. We're going to move them at the same time. What's happening right now? What are these doing? They're multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So we're going to divide by 2 pi, but you have to use parentheses in the calculator. So we're going to divide by 2 pi. Okay, so type in your calculator 18.84 divided by parentheses 2 pi. All right. All right, what is 2.99 round to? So R equals 3. Okay, stick with me, please. Stick with me. What does R stand for? Radius. Remember, we always have to read the question. Look, what is the diameter of the circle? Diameter and radiuses are two different things. So let's draw a circle again. We already talked about radius was halfway. Diameter is all the way across. So diameter is all the way across the circle. Okay? So we found the radius to be 3. Well, if this side's 3, Gracie, how much is this side? 3. And so, Andrea, how much is it all the way across? If this is 3 and this is 3, how much is it all the way across? 6. So when it says what is the diameter is actually 6. Okay, Ethan H., you with me? Okay, Jesse, good? All right. All right, number 9. The volume of a sphere is 2,400 cubic centimeters. What is the approximate diameter of the sphere? Okay. All right, so let's write down our formula again. V equals 4/3 pi r cubed. All right, Ethan H., what number do they give you? All right, and so what goes in for volume? 2400 is the volume, okay? That's the volume. So it goes in for V. Drop down the 4/3 and the pi. Chad, do I know what the R is? No. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what R is. Chuck, what is with R right now? What are we going to have to move? Yes. What else are we going to have to move? Huh? The 4/3. Guys, we're going to move the 4/3 and the pi. Gracie, how are we going to get rid of them? If we're multiplying here, divide. And you have to use parentheses. 4/3 pi. Okay, you're going to divide by that. So everybody should type that in their calculator. Put this back on my desk at the end of class. All right, what are we getting when we divide right here? What are we getting? Okay. All right, now, I know, look, we still have R to the 3rd power. Okay. This question is a little harder, all right? It's going to be a challenge problem for some of you, okay? So don't get discouraged, all right? This is one of the harder problems that we have. Is R by itself yet? No. What's still with R? A cube, okay? To get rid of it, we're going to do that. We're going to do a cube root. I know this is really weird, okay? In your calculator, in your calculator, does anybody remember how I get to something like that? Yep, but what button do I have to hit in the calculator? Math. You have to hit the math key and go down to number 4. And then I'm going to type in 572.95. Sure. Okay. Does anybody, y'all remember how to find the math button? Okay. All right. So now we have the radius. It's 8.3. Okay. I guarantee you on your test next week, lots of people will circle C. Daniel, what is the question asking for? The question is asking for the diameter. Haley, have we found the diameter yet? No. So we found the radius, which was 8.3. Okay? Jesse, how do we make that into a diameter? What do we have to do? Double it. I have to put 8.3 over here, and you can add those, or you could times it by 2. What's 8.3 and 8.3? Which is A. Okay. All right, these questions are good for some of y'all who who need a challenge every now and again, okay? All right, number 10, the area of a rectangle is 420 and the length is 35. What is the width of the rectangle? All right, they didn't give you a formula for this one because you should have it memorized. Daniel, what is the formula for area of a rectangle? Good. So on your paper, guys, write area equals length times width. That was just on your formula sheet. Gracie, what's one number they give you? Yep, and what letter does it go in for? What does it say the 420 is? The what? But what does it say it is before the number? The area. So what letter does it go in for? Which one of these is area? So it goes in for A. Andrea, did they give you any other numbers? It goes in for what, Andrea? What is the 35? What do they say the 35 is? The what? The length. So it goes in for which one of these? L. So I put 35W. Okay? All right, Chad, what letter are we trying to figure out? All right. Chad, what letter are we trying to get by itself? What letter's up on the board? Look, look, look. A was 420, L was 35, and then we have W. So we've already done the first step. Now we're here. What letter do we need to figure out? What letter are we trying to get by itself? W. Okay, so I'm going to circle W and draw my line. Haley, what has to move away from W? Jesse, how do I move the 35? What's happening right here? What are these two doing? I divide it. These are multiplying, so I have to divide. So W equals, Chuck, what do you get for W? Okay. And let's go back and read the question. Dylan, what are they asking for? And have we found that? So we're done. Done with that one. Okay. All right, number 11, the volume of a cylinder is 3,078.76 inches cubed. The height of the cylinder is 20. What is the radius of the cylinder? Use the formula V equals pi r squared h. Ethan H., what would be a good step to do first? Okay, so he's saying this number is the volume. So he's saying we're going to put it in the V spot. Okay. Andrea, do I plug in a number for pi or do I just write pi for now? Good. Pi just drops down for now. Okay. Gracie, do they tell us what the radius is? Do they give us a number? Nope. So I'm just going to write r squared. And Dylan, do they tell us what the height is? What is it? So the height is 20. Okay. All right, Chad, what letter are we trying to get by itself? The radius, the R, okay? All right, trying to get the radius by itself. Ethan H., what needs to move away from the R? Pi and 20. I need to move pi and 20. Chuck, how do you think I'm going to move pi and 20? Divide, okay? And you have to use parentheses when you divide two things at one time. Got to use parentheses when you're dividing two things at one time. And Daniel, tell us what you get for this. Y'all getting that? 48.99? Oh, 489.99? Chad, have you typed it in yet? All right, 48.9999. So that rounds to what? That rounds to 50. Okay. All right. Can somebody other than Ethan H. tell me what 50 equals? What? It equals radius squared. That's what we have left. Okay? We have r squared left. Dylan, I know you were going to get there. Okay? All right, so r squared is r by itself. What's with r? Okay. With it, when it's just a 2, all you have to do is that normal square root. So you hit second square root. You don't have to hit math for this one. You just hit second square root. and 50. And you get what? 7. So R equals 7. Okay? All right, let's go back and read the question. Chad, what's the question asking for? Have we found the radius? Yes, the radius is 7. Okay. All right, last one, number 12. The volume of a cylinder is 271.4 and the radius is 6. What is the height? Daniel, help me start this one. What number do they give you? What is that? What is 271.4? So where do I put it? I put it in the V spot. All right, what else would I do? So what do I need to do with the 6? Okay, so I need to drop down the pi and put 6 squared. All right, and I got to put an H. Okay. All right, Daniel, what would you do next? What letter are you trying to get by itself? So I'm going to circle H and draw my line. You should be writing this down, Daniel. Write it down. All right, what has to move away from H? Anybody? Very good. The pi and the 6 squared. How do we move the pi and the 6 squared? You got to do what? You divide. Okay, so we're going to divide by pi and 6 squared, and you can just put parentheses around the whole thing. Okay? Yeah, Ethan? You can. That's fine. Okay? Yes. You can do it that way too. Those are both good ways to do it. Okay? All right, somebody tell me what we're getting. Chuck, you should be typing it in so we have a backup. Say it again. 2.4? I mean, it's 2.39. 2.39? Okay. All right, what is 2.39? What letter? What letter is it? H. What does H stand for? And what does it ask for? So we are done.